Well, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. We're excited for you to be here and join us. I am Angelita Howard, and I serve as the Dean for Online Education at Morehouse School of Medicine, where we're leading the advancement and creation of health equity. It's a wonderful day. It's going to be a wonderful evening. You're going to get to hear from our super fantastic program directors. So we are here. We're happy that you're here to learn more about what we do in online education at Morehouse School of Medicine. If you have not done so already, why don't you go ahead and share the page, like the page, share it with someone else, share it, like it. We want everybody to hear what we're doing at Morehouse School of Medicine through our online department. We don't want anyone to miss. So again, welcome. Tonight is going to be fabulous. We're going to have a great time. You're going to hear from our program directors. Please put in the comments any questions that you have. We'll take questions later this evening. However, we're monitoring the chat. So please put in any questions that you may have, put any comments that you may have. We want to hear from you. Okay, so please make sure you're sharing, liking the page, sharing, doing all that so you can come back if you need to share it later to hear from us about what we're doing here at Morehouse School of Medicine. Again, I'm Angelita Howard. I serve as the founding dean of online education, and I am glad that you are here. We're going to get started. We at Morehouse School of Medicine, we are pleased to announce that we do have online programs. Some of you didn't know that Morehouse School of Medicine offers online programs. Yes, we offer online programs. We've been offering online programs since 2019. So though it's relatively new, we're excited. We have certainly increased the number of programs that we offer. And so tonight I'm going to start off by introducing or having our program directors introduce themselves. We're first going to start off with our oldest program since 2019. We're going to turn it over to Dr. Bid to ask, and all of our program directors, they're going to give you a little bit of background about themselves, academic, professional history as it relates to their program, and a little bit about the program. So we're going to start with Dr. Hemant Bid. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. It being a pleasure to be here. Welcome, everyone. And my name is Dr. Hemant Kumar Bed, and I'm the Program Director for Masters in Biotechnology, as well as the Masters in Biotechnology Special Concentration on Medical Cannabis. It being quite an interesting journey for me to join the Morehouse School of Medicine, and it's being a great honor and pleasure. And I'm serving the Program Director for these two programs. And my academic background is that I have Masters in Biochemistry, PhD in Medical Biochemistry, second Masters in Regulatory Pharmacology from Ohio State, as well as a management certification from University of Michigan. I've been working in the field of drug discovery and biotechnology field from last 25 years, working on various different aspects of cancer drug discovery, as well as pharmacogenomic aspects of various different cancers. And it was my interest to look for various different pharmaceutical routes to see that what are the best route to see the cancer drug discovery, as well as to looking for the holistic alternative, that where actually I came across the one of the best holistic approach, medical cannabis, a couple of years ago. That it been like 10 or 15 years, and I've been involved in the educating in the field of biotechnology as well as medical cannabis for almost like 15 years. So in the case of medical cannabis, that I've been involved in this field for a long time now, teaching in various different institutes, being an adjunct professor for various different aspects of medical cannabis, as well as serving as a scientific director for a cannabis testing laboratory. On the other hand, that when we think about the biotechnology, that it's a kind of like interesting journey for me to work in a various different aspects of biotechnology field, as a regulatory consultant, as a scientist, and as a program leader for a startup company, that where I worked for a drug development company, that where we work for antibody discovery, etc. So I think that these experiences, what I'm bringing here, and like leading the program, is kind of like giving me the confidence that like will bring in the table a lot of various different the the relationship with various different institutes, as well as a good education quality program here, and what we are trying to do. And if you think about that, our program, we have Masters in Biotechnology program, which is one of the oldest program, but one of the best program, because Morehouse School of Medicine online Masters of Science in Biotechnology degree program, I'm happy to share here that it is the best HBCU program in 2023, and it is one of the programs that which has a lot of uh, the critical part that which we teach in a 1 year program, that you students are going to create a very great foundation to be successful in the field of biotechnology, which incorporate that cell biology, critical thinking, entrepreneurship, as well as biochemistry, ethics, and integrity with respect to GLP and GMP facility, molecular biology, devices, epigenetic medicine, and project management, as well as health sciences capstone, etc. So this is the one year program which is really giving you a very fast pace, a lot of different like aspect to create a good foundation in the field of biotechnology, which is 35 credit hour program. And on the other hand, that we have another program which is Masters in Biotechnology, special concentration of medical cannabis. And as we all know that either it is biotechnology or medical cannabis, it's a $1 billion industry, very fast growing industry. Various different discoveries are continuously happening, and Morehouse School of Medicine is committed to give the quality education to the not only the coming students which wanted to be the forefront leaders in the field of biotechnology as well as medical cannabis. In the field of medical cannabis, that it's such a growing field. More than 37 states are already approved for medical cannabis therapeutics in the United States, and we are giving a quality education with respect to giving the biology and the chemistry of the cannabis plant, as well as giving them the introductory understanding of medical cannabis productions and the pharmacology, which is one of the important thing, because the clinical side, that it is accepted, the acceptability of medical cannabis in the field of clinical side is getting increased and increased, and it is important for the students to understand the clinical and pharmacological interaction with various different disease pathologies that they are going to learn, as well as the various different psychological behavior, social effect. And the complex thing is the regulation that students are going to learn, which is very different from the state and the federal level. So this program will give a very good clarity to the student, that what is basically that medical cannabis and how it is growing with various different states with respect to various different regulations and with their
Yes. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. We can't wait to hear more about the Master of Science in Biotech and Medical Cannabis. Next, we're going to move to Dr. Agnew, Jasmine Agnew, who is going to give us her background and about the Master of Science in Health Informatics. Thank you, Dr. Agnew. Welcome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live session tonight. I am again Dr. Agnew, and I'm the program director for the Master of Science in Health Informatics program. Our program is the intersection between healthcare data and technology and business, and how all of these components can work together to improve patient access as well as to promote healthcare equity. My background is I do have undergraduate degrees in health information technology, health information management, and health informatics. I also have degrees in graduate education. So I have a great understanding of what it takes to help adults learn what they need to be effective as they transition into the workforce. I've spent over 20 years in the field. I've worked with hospitals, software companies, insurance payers, and even the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And in every sector, I was working to help make sure that we had timely and accurate access to healthcare data. Our program is designed to prepare you to move into the industry of health informatics, whether you do work in clinical research, health informatics itself in the hospital setting, in software, or even as a consultant to help other people develop programs and processes and procedures to promote health equity. So excited for this opportunity to talk to you about these programs and how we are working to be change makers in healthcare. While we are not patient facing, we are patient impacting. That means that we are a huge player in making sure we provide quality healthcare across the nation.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Agnew. Not patient facing, but patient impacting. Absolutely love that. Thank you so much. Next, we have two of our newer programs that we'll start talking about. I bring to the stage Dr. Hari Drayton, who will talk about our Master of Administration in Justice Involved Care, and our life coach, Dr. Drayton.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. What a pleasure it is to be here. My name is Hari Drayton. I am the program director for the Masters of Administration in Justice Involved Care and the Justice Involved Life Coach program. I hold a undergraduate degree in criminal justice and human services. I hold a master's in law and legal studies, and I hold a terminal degree in criminal justice, a doctorate in criminal justice. My background, I've spent 34 years. I've been connected to the New York City Department of Corrections for the last 34 years in some capacity or another. I also work for the criminal defense practice of the Legal Aid Society, where I advocated. I was a part of the advocating team as a paralegal for those who are justice involved. I am so excited about the Masters of Administration in Justice Involved Care. The reason I'm excited is because you can find a master's in criminal justice everywhere. Those degrees are very, very popular. The unique thing about the Master's of Administration in Justice Involved Care is this degree sits at the intersection of criminal justice and public health. So it not only focuses on the criminal justice aspect of it, but the public health. And as we all know, the things that happen to those who are incarcerated is a public health concern. In addition to our Masters of Administration in Justice Involved Care, we have our Justice Involved Life Coach Certificate Program, which is a 4-month program. Our Masters of Administration in Justice Involved Care is asynchronous. It is a 1-year program from an HBCU, 1-year program. What an awesome thing. That's one of the things that attracted me to be a part of this organization. I mean, just the time frame. And then we have our Life Coach program, which is a 4-month program. And this life coach is asynchronous as well, and it prepares the scholars to help those who have been justice involved impacted to navigate the sometimes complex bureaucracy of the criminal justice society and reacclimating into communities and reentry. So I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing team. So I welcome you all.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Drayton. We're excited. Continue to do the social justice work. And now we have to talk about our Doctor of Health Administration, Dr. Renetta Waldrop. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. I am just so excited to be able to share with all of you the OEEP office's newest online program, the Doctor of Health Administration. I'm Renetta Waldrop, and I am program director for this particular program. I come here to this role with over 35 years of experience in the healthcare environment, which has included hospitals and health systems, community health centers, health departments, and other community related health organizations. Professionally, I have served as an administrator of a children's hospital, CEO of a federally qualified health center, a deputy director for Georgia's largest public health department, and an educator here at MSM for the last 17 years in the MPH program and now in the DHA program. I have presented nationally and internationally at healthcare conferences and summits, including having been an invited speaker before the World Health Organization Kobe Center, Japan, on public-private partnerships in public health. This particular role, however, has brought me back to my roots, hospitals and health systems, and I am so glad to be a part of educating and training our next generation of healthcare leaders. The OEEP DHA program is a 3-year, 55 credit hour program that follows a sequence of doctoral level courses in policy, healthcare finance, economics, management, global health, and other foundational topics. We do not require the traditional doctoral dissertation, but instead require a final capstone project where students will actually identify a healthcare problem or issue that they have an interest in in working on and identifying solutions for. And then, along with guidance from their capstone committee, students will research, write up, and present their project in their last term. We are so very excited to be a part of sharing with you tonight what this particular program in OEEP is all about, and helping you to understand the importance of our entry into the C-suite and other managerial positions in hospital and healthcare environments. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Waldrop. If you're looking at the C-suite, look no further. That's what we have here in the DHA. And finally, our director for our health science teaching certificate, Dr. Houston. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited to share with you a little bit about this program. I began my career as a community dietitian at a school of medicine in the Midwest, and I worked solely on nutrition and community health promotion grants as a community educator. So after I completed my master's degree, which was also in nutrition, one of my colleagues tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Would you team teach a research methods course with me?" And I was open and willing. So I said yes. And I had no idea at that time that it would really change my trajectory. So she thought at the end of that semester that I had a knack for teaching and suggested I get my doctoral degree in higher education, specifically in curriculum and instruction. And I had other plans. I set my eyes on becoming a first-class researcher like my colleagues at WashU School of Medicine, and I chose a doctoral degree in health services research, but I did keep my minor in education. So I was about 6 months away from finishing my dissertation. I decided that I wasn't going to leave my education behind, but I was going to change jobs and follow my heart and go into education. I took a career switch as a faculty member and administrator at a small teaching university, and I never regretted it. My program was absorbed into the College of Education, and it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I was one of the first to jump into online education, as clunky as it was back in 1997, and I have been hooked on teaching, assessment, and online learning ever since. I've worked with hundreds of learners at 2-year, 4-year undergraduate, master's degree, doctoral programs, postdoctoral fellowships, and teaching residents. Our 4-course sequence in this health sciences teaching certificate takes approximately 8 months to complete, and I really look forward to helping you transform your content expertise into teaching excellence.
Awesome. Thank you. Teaching never stops. Learning never stops. Even with Dr. Houston, everybody that you see on this panel, we're always learning something as she teaches us, as she continues to teach. So that is a passion. So we're going to get right into it. I want to hear from each of our program directors, because Morehouse School of Medicine, as some of you may or may not know, our mission, our purpose deals with inequities, disparities. And so because that is the foundation and soul of who we are, what I want to know is, how does your program directors, how does your specific program address health equity in our communities? And for those of you who've had graduates or plan on having graduates soon, what impacts will graduates have on their respective industries? So again, how does your program address these health inequities? We will start with Dr. Bid.
We all know that Morehouse School of Medicine, our mission is to elimination of the health and healthcare disparity. And in our program, that we create the leaders at biotechnology, that where these leaders are going to be the part of various different organizations with respect to CDC, FDA, drug discovery, so many different other avenues where the regulatory agencies are there, because biotechnology is such a fascinating field there, where not only we are not just define ourselves with a discovery, we are defined with a science, defined with a medical field. There are a lot of people who are finishing up the biotechnology in the medical, going to the medical field. So on all these fields that we require, and we need more and more diversity, that and our students are going to join to those fields to become the part of those systems, to we reduce this health disparity, that, like what we are looking for, what is our mission. If we think about the medical cannabis, this is one of the field that we all know that, like minorities are always being to be, there is a discrepancy from this field. And in the medical field, Morehouse School of Medicine are creating the leaders that we are going to be the forefront at the medical cannabis field with various different areas. Either it is a cultivation, either it is a extraction, either it is a science area, or either it is a law and policies, that who are going to contribute to those missions of the Morehouse School of Medicine, where they are going to be the part of those the big organizations, and be a part of, as a minority, that represent those populations, that where we need those populations, we need those people to create that kind of like equality in this space. And that's what Morehouse School is doing, and what our program is committed for, and we are creating those leaders to be part of that.
Thank you. Thank you. Same thing, Dr. Houston.
I want to share with you actually a response that one of my learners gave me about this very topic. We talk about health equity throughout the teaching certificate, and I was really impressed by a recent discussion board that we had online where their wisdom really shone through. So one of the questions I asked also related to that, a learner said that education is the heart of health equity. Since Morehouse is educating professionals in all aspects of health science, and these professionals are going to work with individuals and communities on health promotion and disease prevention, we need to be able to reach our audiences. So this program will give you a huge toolbox to do just that. Once we reach and teach our learners in effective ways, we can translate that into reaching individuals and communities. We can empower them to take charge of their health and well-being. And from a strictly education standpoint, there is a tremendous shortage of educators in the health professions trainings programs, including health informatics, which Dr. Agnew could talk with you about if you reach out to her. This was true before COVID, and it is even more relevant after COVID. Graduates from the Health Sciences Teaching Certificate will not only help alleviate these shortages, they're going to educate generations for the future using state-of-the-art technology in online and face-to-face education.
All righty. Thank you. These are the leaders that we are creating and teaching. Dr. Drayton.
Hello again. So what we're doing with the Masters of Administration and Justice Involved Care, as we know, one of the most vulnerable populations and underserved are those who are incarcerated. So we're joining forces with agencies and divisions and departments throughout Georgia and possibly throughout the country and the world to help those who have been justice involved impacted. Those who have any knowledge of the criminal justice, specifically the jail system, could appreciate the overcrowdedness of the jails and the germs and the diseases that's bred there. What I'm really proud about is we recently partnered with the Henry County Sheriff's Office to go in to teach a class with those who are justice involved, helping them as they are transitioning back into society, re-entry, how to obtain some of the things that you and I and our listeners take for granted. So we're just doing so much in Georgia. We're expanding our reach, and we're just looking forward to creating change agents just to change the world, because criminal justice reform is on the table in every legislature, and we are just looking to be a part of that and just helping to change policies, going into the jails and helping our brothers and sisters who are severely impacted by the criminal justice system.
Thank you. Talk about impact. Yes, I'm so excited about our Henry County Sheriff's Office understanding in that we're actually going behind the walls. We're going behind the walls to address some of those health inequities. So I'm excited about that. Dr. Waldrop, talk to us about how the DHA program addresses health inequities in our community.
Great, I'd love to. Each course in the DHA program includes an opportunity through a specific topic area to detail how that subject matter can positively impact the issue of health equity. As an example, in the Healthcare Policy and Politics course, it includes a topic model that looks at ICD-10 classification management social needs codes that are now known as Z codes. Each course in the DHA program includes I'm so sorry, I apologize, that are known as the Z codes. Students learn how these Z codes, when collected in their healthcare system databases using health analytics, can actually uh, uh, identify special needs issues within their patient populations, and then initiate internal programs that can support additional services that patients may need, particularly as it relates to the delivery of services within that healthcare environment and the delivery of services post-discharge. For example, if a program can be developed to support an uninsured non-elderly adult who may be discharged from the hospital staff can then initiate a program by looking at Z codes in their database to determine how many of their patients fall into that category, and then to actually develop programs internally that could support those patients once they are leaving the hospital system. So it is these kinds of activities that help us to combat health inequities using data-driven methods that can identify when social determinants of health are actually at play, and how to develop programs in their organizations that will actually advance health equity by addressing those programs. For the most part, as I said, each DHA program has some type of specific component in it that addresses health equity, and that was just one example of what we do in that area to continue to support the Morehouse mission.
Thank you. Yes, so anyone who's interested in thinking about the health administration, there is a solution focused project that happens at the end. And as Dr. Waldrop was just giving that scenario, you can think about, you would think about some of those solutions that you would bring to those issues. Last, certainly not least, Dr. Agnew, tell us about how the health informatics program addresses health inequities.
So glad that you positioned us here after the other leaders of our program spoke. One of the consistent factors across every field is the need to use data to make decisions to attend to the needs of underserved and vulnerable populations. Health informaticists help to promote health equity by building these systems. These systems then help leaders in the community, leaders in healthcare organizations make decisions that attend to the needs of those that are underserved and those that are vulnerable, whether they're those that are a part of healthcare organizations where they have to make financial decisions based on a case mix, whether it's a part of biotechnology and these are people that are involved in clinical studies, whether these are people with chronic conditions that are being treated by medical cannabis, or whether they are people that are incarcerated in correctional facilities. All of these people all have access to healthcare. That healthcare data has to be housed. It has to be housed in a place where it can be accessible. And people in health informatics, we promote health equity by building systems to meet the needs of not only the providers, but also those that are patients.
Thank you. We're building those programs, we're building those systems that impact you and I as a total community. So thank you all for that information. Let's get into the structure of online education. We all teach in online education. Our programs are 100% virtual. And so I want us to kind of dialogue into how we think about online education. What does others think about online education? What does it mean to be a student in an online learning environment? So, Dr. Agnew, talk to us about some of the myths you've heard about remote learning environments.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Two of the major myths that I've always heard is, first, you won't be able to engage or interact with your professor, and the second is that you don't get to engage with your peers. Now, I can tell you, as a product of online education, there are instances where I have gained stronger connections with my professors and with my peers through online education, because it gives us an opportunity to work with more of a message board, with more of an opportunity for us to put our visions and what we see about the field and progress and processes in one place, and for us to learn from one another. being able to be in an online class is not just you working in a silo. It is you working alongside with your peers to expand your body of knowledge in the field. So when you think about online education is an opportunity for you to learn and change your trajectory regardless of where you sit. It's regardless of where you live. As long as you have access to the system and access to the learning platform, you're able to go in. You'll find artifacts that were well collected for students to learn. You'll find teachers that are very qualified and very experienced in the field, and they can give you insight about it. So actually, instead of you sitting in one place in a traditional classroom, you're in a place where you can gather education regardless of your learner type from different places, and you can engage with your peers that are also different learners that have different needs, different skill sets, different backgrounds, all for one common goal, and that is to pursue higher education.
So you heard it here first, or second or third. You can do online education and do well. You can build those networks. You can build friendships. You can build opportunities in online education. So I want to go to Dr. Houston and Dr. Waldrop, who've both been in very brick and mortar institutions and in environments. And so shifting from a brick and mortar institution, we'll start off with Dr. Houston. How have you seen students thrive in this online environment?
As Dr. Agnew mentioned, learners thrive in online learning environments. And one of the reasons is because it has the potential to reach diverse learners around the globe. And online programs have meant the difference for so many of us who've wanted to go back to school, but didn't have the opportunity to either go to the place we really chose or the place we felt was a good fit. That is no longer the case. So those of you who don't want to leave your homes and families, work, and communities can go to top-notch schools like Morehouse School of Medicine without leaving your home. And that's one of the part that I think is helping to students really, really thrive. I know online education really wasn't available to me when I was a learner, and I was limited in some ways to what was available in my backyard. But now I see online students thriving because they have great opportunities to choose programs that fit their needs, they're portable, and they're state-of-the-art.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Waldrop, I'm going to ask you the same question, but I want to phrase it this way. You know, you've been at Morehouse School of Medicine and other institutions of higher learning and the hospital, and you're really newer to online education. And as a program director, you've had to shift this thinking around online education. So I'd love to hear about what you think and how you've seen students thrive, and even your thoughts around online education, how it has transitioned or shifted.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. You know, I have found that the online environment is an exciting environment for learning. I have taught in the brick and mortar space in residential programs for many, many years. And sometimes students can get just a little bit stifled in terms of where they think they want to go and what they want to do. In this particular program, though, I have to say that we've got a lot of professionals in our program, and they're older students, so the online environment fits them quite well. For our program, the simple fact is that our students can pursue their degree, whether they do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning. And for many of them, that works well, particularly when you have children and you have a family and you have the demands of a job. I think that is what allows them to thrive so well in this environment that we have put together for them. For many of them, you know, the kind of brick and mortar environment that I have long been a part of, it just would not work. It wouldn't work for them for their current lifestyle reasons. And for many of them, I think that if that was their only option, the brick and mortar residential kind of program, many of them would really never attain their goal of achieving a doctoral degree. I do have to agree with Dr. Houston because something that I did not see in the residential and brick and mortar environment was this opportunity for students to just engage with other folks from across the country. And for us, actually globally, because we now have a student in our program who joins us in this online environment from Saudi Arabia. So, just being able to engage with fellow students and fellow professionals, around the healthcare issues and how they deliver healthcare in their countries, I think has been an opportunity to allow them to thrive that would never ever occur in a residential kind of brick and mortar space.
Wow. Wow. Yes. So, Dr. Waldrop just mentioned we have a student in Saudi Arabia, which means there are no geographical restrictions to what we do here at Morehouse School of Medicine through our online education. And part of our support of students will come from things that Dr. Bid and Dr. Drayton will talk about. It's important that you have a supportive online team, a supportive environment, so that when you have those 2 o'clock or 2 a.m. Times that you can reach out to someone. Now, I'm not going to say we're going to respond to your email at 2 o'clock, although some people on this panel might, but it's important to have a level of support. How does that support, Dr. Drayton? We'll start with you. What type of support does your program give to students in the classroom and outside of the classroom?
Thank you. Very good question. One of the things, and you spoke of emails, and we get a lot of emails all the time. We're very, and I can speak for all of the educators in the MAGIC program, that we're all pretty responsive to emails and text messages. We also create a chat forum. So we can not only communicate with them, they can communicate with each other. And I have some of my students who have podcasts, so I support them outside of, and I want them to know that our relationship does not extend just to the borders of the Morehouse School of Medicine, but we are interested in what they're doing outside to encourage them and to help them. So I go to their podcast, I engage with them on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, and just support them in any way possible. Write letters of recommendation, and to connect them with other learners from other places who have similar interests, who are interested in the same type of research that they may be interested in.
Thank you. So you're hearing it. These are the ways that our program directors, our programs, our OEEP support students, our learners. Dr. Bibb, what about you? What are some ways that you support students in and outside of the classroom, the learning environment?
Thank you, Dr. Howard. That it's a really interesting question, because as a part of the online education program, that we realize that, and we have that expertise to understand that, like what are the different challenges of the online education and how we are going to support and help our students. And in our program, that, like one of the biggest thing is to giving the space to interact with each other, as well as to giving a safe environment to them to freely interact with their instructors for any time that, like what are the different questions and what are the different concerns they have, is one of the biggest the positivity that we can provide to the student. But not only that, but because biotechnology as well as the medical cannabis, there are so many opportunities are there that we provide the student for various different information of the scholarships for various different pharmaceutical industries, various different universities, that they can get the opportunity and internship. Morehouse School of Medicine has a very collaborative, actually, the project with TrueLeaf, one of the biggest cannabis space company, that we are trying to create that relationship with them to start actually the internship with these students, as well as that we also actually interact with the students, because both the fields are very exciting fields, very new discovery fields. The students are always come with the ideas that, like, can we write a research article, can we submit a different abstract on a various different conferences, and we are here to help them. We help them to write their abstract, we help them to navigate how to write the abstract, how to navigate, how to write the various different manuscripts, so that before they finish their program, if they have that kind of publication, they have that kind of scholarships, they have that kind of abstracts in a different conferences, they have that exposure, they have that experience to be more successful when they go to the real world. And that's how that we are actually helping them to various different their career paths also, so that like they can better be equipped with various different tools to be successful in the field of biotechnology or in the field of medical cannabis.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You all talked about all of the different resources that we have and that we share with students. And one thing that I want to mention, all of our classes are 8 weeks long for any program that we're in. We require at least 2 live sessions. That's live sessions with the faculty that's teaching that course. But many of them move beyond the 2 live sessions. They do 3, 4, 5. It is certainly a great way for them to interact with our students and build that relationship and network. So I know that many of our listeners who are on, many of the people who are on, they want to know, should I go back to school? What kind of job am I going to get with this degree? People want to know, I'm going to invest $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a degree. First of all, do I really need this? But more importantly, is what job opportunities are there? What type of salaries? What type of employment options will I have when I leave your program? So I want to ask all of you, I want you to talk to us about some opportunities that potential students could have if they come to your program. What type of job should they be looking for? What type of career opportunities? What type of pathways? And let me say this, pathways don't have to be, straight. Mine was zigzag. I started off in music. I was a music major. I was going to sing opera somewhere, but my pathway shifted. I'm so glad it did, because I wouldn't have the pleasure of being here. So talk to us about some of the career options, where some of your current students or former students work, some of those job titles. What does that look like? So Dr. Agnew, we'll start with you.
All right, just to talk about my career path, I started out once I graduated from high school. My plan was to go and to Mississippi State, major in agribusiness with a minor in animal husbandry. I wanted to then go to law school and be a attorney to represent African American farmers in the state of Mississippi. As you see, my pathway was a lot different. And right after I finished high school, I discovered health information technology. I went through the 2-year program. After I finished the 2-year program, I found a love for the program, especially working in healthcare organizations that were positioned among vulnerable populations. That encouraged me to go on and get my bachelor's degree in health information, then my master's in health informatics. As far as the career path and then some of the opportunities that come with these degrees, on the technical level, you can work with reimbursement, finances, and healthcare organizations. With the baccalaureate degree program, you can work with management and your technical skills. But our program, the wonderful thing is that it is a combination of all. You have some of the classes that teach you those technical skills. You have some classes that teach you about management and leadership. We have leadership by an award-winning physician that is a officer here at our university. And then you have an opportunity to talk about systems acquisition, higher level positions that deal with health informatics, such as healthcare project managers, data analysts, informatics consultants. Those are just a few of those positions. When you look on pay scale, some of those positions can start off at about $60,000 to $70,000 on the lower end, and then on the higher end of some of these positions that come with 2 to 3 years of experience are on the further end of the pay scale, closer to 6 figures. But it does take, of course, some certifications and experience in the field. As far as my field was concerned, I started out again working with an organization in a vulnerable population. They purchased a shopping mall and converted it into a physician's office multiplex, to where a person, if they could get public transportation from the rural Mississippi Delta to Jackson, they could see the dentist, the eye doctor, the primary care physician, and any other specialist they needed to see in that one location. And that's what kind of incited me to want to continue. And so just to continue to work in the field, anything that deals with hardware and software deployment, all the way up to system design, those are positions that you can choose through the health informatics.
Awesome. Thank you. Dr. Drayton, what are the career fields options for our justice involved students?
So again, just briefly, I started off as a correction officer on Rikers Island. Never in 100,000 years, in corrections, I like Dr. Agnew, I was going to be an attorney. At least I thought so at the time. I got my degree in criminal justice. I never thought in 100,000 years that I would become an educator, not at one, but two great institutions, landing here at Morehouse School of Medicine. It was going back to school to further my education. That is the key that allowed me to do it. Some of the jobs that I would say that some of the people who finish this program would focus on is criminal justice agency managers in all criminal justice agencies, educators. If you're interested in becoming an educator, that is awesome, and it's very, very rewarding. Policymakers, entrepreneurs. I have some people who are going into they are tired of now working for other people, so they're going into their own business of entrepreneurs as consultants and as advisors, and Justice Involved life coach. Some of our and right now in my master's degree program, I have one student that have not one, not two, but this is his third master's degree, and he also holds a PhD. So you could just do so many things, and people are starting to understand the power and the importance of education, and people are going to school older. I think that fear, I'm too old, am I old enough to do this? I'm too, whatever it is, I think those fears, those things are being dismissed now, and we're starting to see older students come back just to go into second and third careers. So the world is yours, and you can do so many things with any one of these degrees that our program offer.
Thank you. And we're as we are going through, please go ahead and type your questions in so that we can try to get to your questions. Dr. Houston, tell us about career opportunities.
Well, it's pretty obvious with an education background, taking a certificate in education, you can work in a traditional educational setting, such as Morehouse School of Medicine or other universities or colleges at all levels, depending on your degree of education. But one of the things that I think is really important is to realize that education is part of many of our jobs, whether we're formal educators or not. And so while you might love becoming a full-time faculty member or program administrator, you may also enjoy being an adjunct instructor for a college of your choice anywhere in the world, because once you have the skills to be both face-to-face and an online teacher, you can teach and bring your skills anywhere. But even in the traditional world, if you're working in corporate training, you can also work in a health sciences lab. Teaching others is part of your work, and being an effective educator and communicator is really key. So I encourage folks to take their content expertise and add to it, really becoming three-dimensional in terms of teaching, so that you can bring this to learners around the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Bidd, what opportunities are there in biotech and medical cannabis therapeutics?
So biotechnology is such a amazing field. It's such a broad spectrum field, giving the opportunity of the students to go into so many different ways that they wanted to. It depends upon that what prior experience they have, and what direction they want to go. And all those directions, specifically, they can go to the research in various different pharmaceutical industries. They can go to research in various different universities. They can go to the agriculture field. They can go to the veterinary field. They can go to the drug discovery field. They be in a forensic scientist. They be in a drug delivery field, diagnostic and analytical services. They can go to the manufacturing and contract research manufacturing and GMP, GLP facilities, or otherwise that, there's a big opportunity to be cross-trained, and they be in the bioinformatics and bioelectronics field also. So technology is such a vast field that it is giving the opportunity to the folks to explore in a regulatory field, in a histopathology field. So there are so many various different opportunities are there that students can go into. And on the other hand, that if we talk about the medical cannabis, which is a fastest growing billion-dollar market, and where the students are going to get opportunities to become a bud tender, to become a extraction technician, to become a lead extraction person, to be a cultivation director, or either it is a cultivator technicians, they can be be a regulatory person for various different laboratories in the state, as well as they can be a scientist or a scientific director for a testing lab also. So in the cannabis industry, there are a lot of different opportunities are there, and our program is such a unique blend of biotechnology and the medical cannabis itself, that which create a huge strong background of biotechnology, which students are going to utilize that knowledge in the medical cannabis to be successful in that field, and chase the opportunity which is everywhere. There's as lot of different opportunities I mentioned are there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Waldrop, what are some of the career opportunities for DHA students?
Well, thank you. I'll be a little bit brief because a lot of my colleagues have shared some of the actual areas that our students can go into as well. But currently, probably about 70% of our current students are actually in healthcare environments where they serve as either program directors or program managers. They serve as critical care managers, compliance officers, public health professionals, and just a host of other different types of healthcare roles. But the degree that they seek here and that they get here from Morehouse as a DHA actually allows our students to pursue the C-suite leadership path, if that's what they would desire, or the administrative management path for operational areas. This degree really serves as leverage, especially for those who are already in the healthcare environment. It serves as leverage for the experience and knowledge that they already possess. It's also a degree, however, that will open a lot of doors for those who are not currently in healthcare because of the breadth and the depth of our curriculum. Its inclusion of the critical need to address health equity in the healthcare arena, and the learning journey that it actually takes them through. But what I would also say is that while many individuals are in the kinds of roles that I've shared, this DHA degree can be actually used for individuals who want to go into consulting, who might want to go into federal or state or any kind of governmental health organization, nonprofit health systems or health agencies, and of course, academia. So all of these are paths for those individuals who pursue a doctorate in health administration. It's something that is incredibly important these days, and there are just a lot of different and a myriad, if you will, of organizations and entities that look for individuals who have a health administration background and who certainly have that background relative to the delivery of care and services for all populations here in the U.S.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we do have a few questions. Our first question, well, we'll go to this question. I do have a question that has come in on my phone as well, but he said, I think Professor Waldrop answered my question. So I think that question, which was without prior healthcare administration experience, is the DHA worth it? And they're just showing what programs they're interested in. But do you want to further address that, Dr. Waldrop?
Absolutely. I think today, because of where healthcare is in this world, what a lot of people bring to the DHA degree are experiences from other arenas. And those experiences, coupled with what you learn in a DHA program, can make for a very powerful, if you will, entry into the DHA in the healthcare market. So I don't think anyone should be concerned about having healthcare experience. The fact of the matter is we all start somewhere. And whatever experience you have, it would be my guess that you can find a way to leverage some of that in some area of health administration and continue and absolutely have the opportunity to make a difference. So I don't think not having prior experience is an issue, and certainly a DHA degree is well worth it because of what we're just experiencing in our country today around healthcare.
Thank you. Well, and maybe I think because we in the admissions criteria, you do have to have a
1 year.
year or how many years
1
experience?
year minimum.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So there was a question about the Summer Bridge Pipeline Program. We offer a 5-week, Morehouse School of Medicine offers a free 5-week summer bridge program that focuses on the health informatics, biotech, medical cannabis therapeutics, and our justice involved care. It's for those who might be in college at a junior or senior level, or if you've already received your bachelor's degree. Again, it is 5 weeks. Now, you do have to be online. It is virtual, synchronous, from 9 to 4, just about each day for those 5 weeks. But it's free. You get exposed to some of the many of the areas that we discussed today. It's exposure. Plus, you receive $500 stipend after you're done, after you finish the program, and guaranteed admissions into one of the programs, either the Master of Science in Biotech or Justice Involved Care or the Health Informatics. We will put up the phone number and website so you can find out more information about that one. But if you certainly share information to your families and friends, again, because it is free, it is $500, and we work with our partners, which I see there's a questions about that, to fund those summer opportunities. So here is a question about are there partnerships or selected companies that would enable students to acquire, explore technical lab skills, pipette, PCR, for example, while taking classes or after completion? So Dr. Bid, I will give that over to you.
We bring the expert from various different universities of their expertise, as Dr. Howard mentioned during the classes, to create that networking with the students and giving them the hands-on experience of the job hunting after the finishing of their program. So which is one of the biggest advantage the students get. But definitely that we are also work with you with various different internship, which will give you the opportunity to have those opportunities in that institutes to have hands-on experience also. But we definitely are giving you the path and the opportunities there, and rest that like you have to apply to that, and go through that path and find out those opportunities, and we are always there to help you guys to find those opportunities there.
Thank you. Yes, partnerships are really important to us at Morehouse School of Medicine. So we use a lot of effort and time to build those partnerships so that you will have those exposures. Dr. Houston, I'll give you this one. Are there any, it moved. Let's see. Okay. Sorry. Are there any preferred items helpful for taking an online class, like headphones, whiteboard, web camera, that you cannot do without for teaching or learning?
That's a great question. All the technology requirements are shared with learners when they apply, and you do need some kind of device, obviously, to access our learning management system, which is Canvas, and a webcam is incredibly helpful since many of our activities, give you the opportunity to upload video of your responses rather than written work. You also have an opportunity to do projects that you can create using educational technology. So I would say those are the basics for sure.
Thank you. I'm interested in the Summer Bridge to Medical Cannabis Therapeutics program. However, I have not participated in a math or science class since undergrad. Would this be a good fit?
I definitely think that it's a good fit because as we all agree that education is a lifelong process, and especially in the bridge to medical cannabis therapeutics program that you are interested in. So our programs are already built in a way that giving you a very foundational understanding of various different aspects of biotechnology, and to understand the medical field as well as the program management and the entrepreneurship in this summer bridge program. So it's a mix of all the different areas that which will give you a success, and not specifically that if you don't have the math and science classes, also also, but it is such a nice blend and a very foundational course that it will be very easy to grasp this knowledge. And all the faculties and all the professors are very dedicated to for the discussion of various different topics, and various different resources are provided in this summer degree program that we should make the students very easy to understand and have a wonderful experience in the summer break.
So yes, Summer Bridge is for learning. Now, and this next question, I think all of you probably could answer. And so I'll give you like 30 seconds to tell why. So someone asked, what program as an RN should a person advance to? I think they could do it all, any of them, but we'll just go down the line and, take 30 seconds as to why. Dr. Agnew, I see you. Go ahead.
All right, as a person with a bachelor's of science in nursing, going into a health informatics degree will give you that nursing informatics foundation. Nursing informatics is on the rise right now because individuals that have a clinical background, plus they have the background to build those systems to meet the needs of vulnerable populations. Nurses are a great fit because understanding disease processes, chronic conditions, the pandemic, side effects of medication, all of those are valuable skills that you learn as you're going through nursing school, as well as working in the nursing profession. Adding that along with your ability to work with the informatics side and the system build side, you'll be able to write your own ticket, Sean. It'll be a great opportunity.
Is there anyone else want to what program, why the RN could go into your program? Anybody else want to
Yeah,
share?
I can share something, Sean.
You're muted, Dr. Waldrop.
How did I get muted?
Okay.
Can you hear her?
Can you hear me?
I want to talk about why the RN could go in.
Dr. Waldrop, oh, sorry. You're muted. Are you back on? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't appear to be muted, but I don't know why I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No, I wasn't. I don't know why it didn't come through. But I would tell Sean that if you've got experience as an RN, a doctorate in health administration degree would only allow you to leverage everything you already know about healthcare, particularly because of the foundational types of programs that you'll get to study: financial management, economics, relationship building with staff, effectively managing and inspiring staff. All of those types of courses would simply help you to leverage everything you already know about nursing. But I would tell you that the DHA program and a doctorate in health administration would really set you in a great place to be able to pursue perhaps a chief nursing officer position, where you might be in charge of nursing at your institution. And with the knowledge imparted to you by a DHA degree, you would be a wonderful candidate to be able to do that.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Bidd, did you want to say something about the nursing? I thought I think you're muted.
Okay. Me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I think the nursing background is a really fascinating background and well suits with the biotechnology as well as medical cannabis. If we talk about the biotechnology that, like after doing this, have a nursing background, that as Dr. Agnew mentioned, that data science in the clinical field, which is, comes with a biotechnology route, that will be the one of the best thing that you can go with. There's a management positions are there in the nursing. But in this case that, I see that the amount of nurses, they are shifting their gears in the medical cannabis and holistic alternative approaches of the therapeutics is amazing. And you are going to be a dispensary manager, or there's a lot of different dispensaries that they have, nursing background people that they are taking in charge of various different dispensaries are the huge opportunity in that field, definitely, and not only in biotechnology but also with the medical cannabis.
Thank you. Dr. Drayton or Dr. Houston, did either one of you want to share?
I would like to say that a background in nursing could go in any of our fields. And I think there's many, many choices. So follow your heart and follow where your passion lies, and then come and get a certificate in teaching, because you can always add this to your resume. You can You can be a leader in education, or you can simply help deal with the shortage in nursing education. Many of our young health professionals are trying to enter the nursing field, and there are year or 2 year long waits because there aren't sufficient faculty who can teach. So even if you do become at the top dog at an institution with the DHA, or working in the cannabis world, or even in health informatics, maybe perhaps as part of service to your community and to your professions, to give back as an educator.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Dr. Drayton, go ahead.
Sure. The Masters of Administration and Justice Involved Care, because we focus primarily on people who have been justice involved impacted, we are looking to help them with their healthcare needs. And as with the Masters of Administration and Justice Involved Care, you can work very, very closely with the wardens or superintendents, they're called different things in different areas, to help with the medical needs of those who are justice involved, and to help link them to services once they are released, because so many people are lost in that, and to help write policies and procedures for people who are justice involved impacted and how they can receive these things. So all of these degrees here will work perfectly for you, and it's up to you just to do your research, and we're here for you.
Yes, thank you so much. The last question that we'll take is it possible to do more than one program at once? So while it's possible, I wouldn't suggest that you do more than one program at once. We have students that are in 2 programs. We have students that are in programs here at Morehouse School of Medicine in another program. It's your bandwidth. It's up to you based on what commitments you have, how much study time that you have. But I can share that our programs, the level of rigor causes you to really study and focus and be engaged. And so if you want the level of opportunity, I would say stick with one. And then if you wanted to do another, we certainly would welcome you. Is the program available to seniors? Are you saying, if you mean seniors in high school, no. But if you mean seniors at large, yes. But seniors in college, for our summer bridge program, absolutely.
And also seniors as an age.
As an age
as
too,
an
yes.
age, seniors as an age,
Yes,
the program's
absolutely.
available because we have people who are seniors there. So yes.
We do. We have someone who I believe is 70 in our program. So we're going to wrap up. You all, this has been an amazing night. I certainly hope that you will share with someone, or you will find us on www.msm.edu/online. Blake is going to put that up. She'll put that up on the screen, our website, so that you can follow us. As a departing word, I want all of our program directors to give 30 seconds, not more than 30 seconds to you all, but 30-second encouragement or final words to people who might be on the fence about returning to school, and why your program would complement their educational journey. So 30 seconds. Let's go. Dr. Drayton.
Thank you, Dr. Agnew. It is never too late. The Masters of Administration and Justice Involved Care is the start of something great. It's a program like no other. I've done my research. I haven't seen another program like it. Like I said, it sits at the intersection of criminal justice and public health. And where we are in our country with criminal justice reform, you can't go wrong with this degree. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bid, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Dr. Howard, that if we are going to make a change in the field of biotech with the social equity and in the field of medical cannabis, I would highly recommend that this prestigious course, because I've been coming from a biotechnology background for such a long time with medical cannabis background, and with our medical cannabis program is evolving such a fast rate with a quality education as well as biotechnology program, where we have not only the quality education but giving you that tools to be successful and be the top rank student in the nation to become very successful in both the fields is one of the unique opportunity you will get when you be in that program. So that is one of the best program that which we have, and highly encourage everybody to be part of this program.
Thank you, Dr. Bid. Dr. Houston.
As I said earlier, one of my learners mentioned that education is the heart of health equity. So adding a certificate in education can only enhance the current skills that you have or the skills that you will pursue. I will tell you that the certificate in health sciences teaching at Morehouse is engaging. We have a passionate faculty as well as group of learners, and I think you will be pleasantly, if not gobsmacked, by what we do in online education.
Awesome. Thank you. Dr. Agnew.
From the moment you enter a healthcare facility until the time you leave, you will see the work of health informaticists. Every time you hear about clinical trials or research, just know the health informatics professionals are at work. Health informatics professionals are responsible for developing programs and systems to house data. That data is what drives consumer and patient outcomes and health equity. So, working collaboratively with healthcare providers, facilities, and software companies, we make healthcare better. While we are not patient facing, we are patient impactful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Agnew. Last, certainly not least, Dr. Waldrop.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. I would only say, while I agree with every last one of my colleagues, I would tell you that the comment around it's never too late is so very important. Our program, someone asked about seniors. In our first cohort, the oldest student is 59. In our second cohort, our oldest student is 57. It's all very dear to my heart because when I went back for my doctoral degree, I was 59 years old. So this particular degree here at Morehouse, if you love the idea of working in the healthcare arena, helping people understanding how important health equity and health justice are to healthcare, this is a program that you will experience wonderful opportunity to be able to understand the impact of those things, understand how people, everyone needs healthcare at some point in time in their life. It is the one thing that we all have in common, and being able to be a part of a program or a hospital or an agency that works to improve the health of all Americans is an exceptionally wonderful job to have. So I would encourage anyone who is out there and looking for help for a degree in health administration to join our program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you all so much for a great night. Thank you for tuning in to learn a little bit more about what Morehouse School of Medicine we're doing in online education. Listen, we want to hear from you. So make sure that you join us, www.msm.edu/online. You can join one of our information sessions, share it with someone. We've also put the number out there so you can call us. We'd love to hear from you. You can email any of the program directors that you see here. All of their contact information, it is on the website that you see scrolling across. So make sure if you're interested in one of the programs and you want to talk to one of them, you can certainly reach out to them, or you can reach out to our recruiters. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, program directors, for what you do. You all are amazing. Thank you for helping to continue to advance health equity. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.